Okay, so I've got a question for you. This is going to be a weird one. So I'm just going to ask you to roll with me on this one. I want to ask you, have you ever thought about what your superpower is? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Yes, while we're used to thinking of superpowers as like Marvel Comics, right? And Superman and Spider-Man and capes and lasers and flying through the sky. I don't know. I think that we're forgetting about something that's even more important that goes to the deep root of what that's about. Long before Marvel Comics and all the other comic books, long before radioactive spiders and cinematic universes, humans have always told the tales of those with extraordinary gifts. You can look back at myths and legends and people that could see the future. They could speak to animals. They could heal wounds and move mountains and travel between worlds. And while all these superpowers seem fictitious, I don't think we realize how realistic they really are. And how every single one of us have our own. And that's what we are talking about today, you beautiful rebels. Your superpowers. Do you know what they are? Because you've got them and I've got them. Do you know how to use them? Don't forget, with great power comes great responsibility. Welcome to the beautiful rebellion. This is a conversation series, and I am your host, Brooklyn, and I'm the founder of Elevator. Here we talk about hot topics shaping beauty and aging and confidence and scent and self-worth, creativity, and modern life. And we're going to rebel against the noise in ways that are beautiful, intelligent, and so real. Superpowers. Yes. So this is an episode I'm excited about because this is one of those subjects that people don't take so seriously. But when you start really looking at it, understanding it, and focusing on the reality of it, well, it's a superpower in itself to be able to do that. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about mythology a little bit, and let's begin to walk through the doorway of your superpower. Greek mythology is full of stories, and they're usually about extraordinary gifts. Let's just look at the Muses, for example. They were connected to creativity and music and poetry and all the creative arts. And if you met with them, you were inspired and you could create and become. That inspiration could move through you. And I can appreciate the Muses, no doubt, and their superpowers. Their superpower was bringing out the beauty within yourself. You can talk about Egyptian mythology. Have you heard of Isis and Osiris? Okay, well, Isis, her power wasn't brute, legitimate strength, and it wasn't about being physically dominant amongst others. Her power was devotion, intelligence, healing, the ability to gather what had been broken, in this case her husband, and make it whole again. And isn't that something? Because we all know someone like that. Someone who can walk into a mess and somehow begin to put pieces back together, or someone who knows how to restore, or someone who really knows how to care. Celtic mythology, you have Brigid, connected with healing and poetry and fertility and sacred fires. Again, not one power, but a bunch of them. And that's what I love about all these old stories. Not all of them are about power and dominance. Well, some are. Sometimes the power was about healing. Sometimes the power was about creating or listening or persistence, or maybe being able to see things that others missed. And to me, that's where mythology connects us to real life. That's why we love it. And the coolest part about all of this is that I am here to tell you that you have probably more than one superpower. You probably got a handful of them, whether you realize it or not. And some people, they know what it is. And some people have no idea. Some have been using theirs for so long that they don't even recognize it as special anymore. They just think, well, that's what I do. Because your superpower is often the thing that feels so natural to you, you assume that that must be a normal thing. And I'm going to tell you, it's not normal to everyone. Some people can walk into chaos and create calm. you probably know somebody that can. Some people could take a look at a blank wall or a blank page and suddenly make something beautiful of it. Some people they're relentless and they don't quit. There are some people that that can organize anything, a team, a closet, a business, a schedule. They're just good at it. There's so many different superpowers is my point. There's truth tellers and people who can make people laugh. There's a bazillion superpowers out there in the world, and all of them are special. And something kind of funny is that we don't always see our own superpowers. It's a lot easier to see the superpowers within someone else than seeing your own within yourself. Go ahead and ask somebody, hey, if you were to pick a superpower of mine, what would it be? I bet you they could tell you. And I bet you 9 times out of 10, it's going to be something that you didn't even see within yourself. It's not easy to look at yourself and understand how others perceive you. Back in the day, I used to manage a lot of people. And whenever somebody would come up on the team that was new, I would always just ask them right off the bat, hey, do you know what your superpower is? And that was basically me just trying to find out if they knew what they were really good at, because it would help me fast track them within their role. But it was always a question that I asked. And some people, it was like 50-50 for me. How many people actually knew what their superpower really was? And then after a while, once I got to know them, I would just tell them, well, here's what you're really good at. Do you know? And a lot of people would thank me for that. And it's like, well, yeah, it's good for you to walk along life understanding what it is that you're good at. And being aware of that can come in handy one day. And when you're managing a team or you're working with a group of people, you have to understand that not everyone is built the same, and that's good. Everyone has their own superpowers. When you have an understanding that some of those people on that team are big thinkers and some are detailed people and some people can talk to anyone, and then there's those quiet powerhouses who will never make a big speech, but you know that if they are on it and they're taxed to it, it's going to get done. And that can make a really good leader, a good manager, or a good collaborator when that person learns how to see that within others. Because when you see someone else's superpower, you can place them where they're going to shine. And when people are placed where they shine, everything shifts. The work gets better, energy gets better, and confidence amongst everyone is so good. People stop trying to be everything, and they start to actually understand what they bring. And then they use that, and it's powerful. And that's the puzzle. All those pieces are different, every single one of them. And there's nothing wrong with that, because when they all understand where each other fits, what a beautiful picture they make together, right? A great team is not made of 10 people trying to be the same person. It's made of people who bring and understand what they have. And then they also have the respect for everyone else around them. And to unite that as well. It shows up in families. Our families all have specific roles, whether we like to talk about them or not. There's usually one that's the planner and the peacemaker and the one that's the comic relief, or the one who remembers everybody's birthday and the one who forgets everybody's birthday. It's all part of it. Superpowers show up in friendships. There are people that you will call. If you need really good advice for something, you know exactly who to call. If you are looking for somebody to make you laugh, you know who to get on the phone with. If you are looking for some very serious advice about, finance, you know who to call for that too. Because everyone's carrying different superpowers. That works in friendships as well. And those are all gifts. Through the years as a musician, I have learned so much from bands. A good band, a really good band, is not just a group of people playing at the same time. A great band is a group of people who understand what each person brings. They know as a musician when to step forward, and they know when it's time to lay back. They know when it's their moment, and they know when the song needs to support someone else's moment. That is an art. That is maturity and awareness. And that's probably one of the reasons I've always loved the Eagles. There was so much respect for what each person brought in that band. Those songs are not sung by the same person. The solos aren't coming from the same player. The power of it is in the way they gave space to each other. They let the right person step forward at the right time. That is what makes a great band. And honestly, it's what makes a great team, a great family, a great partnership, a great creative project, a great community. People knowing what they bring and people honoring what others bring. People are not trying to overstep because they want all of the attention. Your superpower, it's not meant to crush everyone else's. It's not meant to make you better than everybody in the room. It's not meant to make you the star of every single moment. Your superpower is meant to help you take your place. That's different. A lot of people can get confused on this one because a superpower without awareness can turn dark into the ego land, right? But a superpower with awareness, well, that becomes contribution. It can become service and purpose. It becomes the thing that lets you say, oh, this is what I bring. This is where I can help, and this is where I light up. This is where I make a difference. And once you know that, you can stop wasting so much energy trying to become somebody that you're not. We've all done it. We've all seen someone else's gift and think we're supposed to have that one. If someone else is more organized, we think we have to be more organized. You know what I mean? You see that back and forth that kind of has happened? Your superpower is not hiding in the version of you that's trying to, impress everybody else. It's right within the most true version and understanding of who you are. The version of you that lights up. A part of you that goes, oh, hey, I know how to do this. Let me do it. And you get really excited, right? So how do you find it? Well, first of all, start paying attention. First of all, just ask yourself, what do people come to me for? Not what you wish they came to you for, but what do people actually come to you for? What are they looking for? What are they asking you about? What are the questions that you get? Are they asking you for some calmness or some clarity? Are they asking you to make them laugh? Or coming to you like feeling super tangled up and just need you to iron them out a little bit? That's a clue to what your superpower is. They're coming to you because they know and have seen you already resolve something similar for them. And another way to ask yourself about what your superpowers are is to ask what life has sharpened in you, your experiences. But I also want to be super careful. I don't want to create this that your trauma is your superpower. No. Your hard story of something that happened to you is not the only interesting thing about you. We can talk about what you learned through those steps and things that happened to you. What did you build because of it? What did you strengthen or protect or awaken? That might be what's part of your power. Maybe life made you more aware. Maybe it made you braver. Maybe it made you kinder. Maybe it made you impossible to fool anymore. Maybe it made you creative because you had to imagine another way forward. Another thing you can ask yourself while seeking your superpower is, when do I feel most like myself? Not when do you feel acceptable by everyone else, but when do you feel most like yourself? Because that's usually where your power lives. Just when you're there, fully in it, doing the thing, saying the thing, making the thing, that's where you start to see it. And sometimes other people see it way before you do, like I said earlier. And listen to what people are saying to you. If people are coming to you and saying, you make me feel calm, don't brush that off. Maybe people are saying to you, you explain things in ways I understand. Or you make me feel welcome, or you see and understand things differently. Maybe that's not such a flaw of yours, but maybe that's the gift. And lastly, there's a quote. You may or may not have heard it in the movie or in the comic books from Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. And there is so much truth in that. When you realize what your superpowers are, you've got to learn how to use them through wisdom. Example, if your superpower is truth-telling, you have to make sure you understand timing. If you understand that your superpower maybe is caring for others, you're also going to have to learn boundaries. If your superpower is leadership, you always have to remember to learn how to listen. And that's the beautiful part of all of this in superpowers. We do not just discover the power, we learn how to use it well. And that, my friends, is the rebellion. Not pretending you don't have it, not letting it become ego, not using it to overpower other people, but learning how to bring it forward with awareness. When you understand your own superpower and you start recognizing the superpowers of all the people around you, life gets really interesting and even more fun. You stop competing with everyone. You stop needing or desiring to want to be good at everything. And you stop resenting people for being different from you and seeing them more clearly. You begin building better teams and better friendships, better homes, better communities, and you start knowing when to step forward and when to give someone else space to shine. And that, to me, my friends, is so powerful. So maybe today, just start noticing. Notice what people come to you for. Notice what feels natural. Your superpower, it may not be loud and it may not be obvious, and it may not arrive with thunder and lightning and all that. Whatever it is, start to name it, start to honor it, and start using it. The world does not need you to become a copy of someone else. It needs you to awaken to the superpowers you already hold within yourself. And that is where the beautiful rebellion can begin. Thank you so much for listening. This one has been so much fun, you superheroes. Until the next one, my name is Brooklyn, the founder of Elevator. You can visit elevator.com to find out more information about that beautiful brand that I built. Thank you so much. Until the next one.